Welcome to the George FTTV YouTube channel. Today we'll discuss our trade plans and team sheets for round 14. So it should be good. So we'll get straight into it. And I think first thing we can discuss is just like how my own team's sitting, I guess. I'm fielding the 18 this week, including Sullivan, but he might be in my trade plans this week because he been disappointing. 53 break even, does play North. Could he be sub? Didn't really get into the game until after half time last week against a depleted Melbourne. That's another story, but most people are fielding 19, 20, which is you'd be happy with. I'm fielding 18, so a little bit nervous, and hopefully it's 17 primos if I can sneak a premium in. And if your cash gen is good, I look at a few screenshots of other teams and I see like you might have a combin that isn't cashed in, a closey that isn't cashed in. Riley Garcia, if you have him, been a good one. Whereas I've picked so many dead ones and the options, and I've already got Billy Dowling, so I'm quite pretty strapped for rookies. So we'll touch on team sheets first. We'll go over this very briefly because there's a few debutants. So St Kilda and Brisbane. Probably the main one is Ari Schoenmaker. All the talk is he's got this lethal, I don't know if it's left or right foot, but one of the best kicks in the league already apparently, or coming into the league. There was a draft watcher that said he's the best kick in the world or something, best kick in the country. So it'll be interesting to see what that is. Kick of the footy at least. So the issue is Nas is out for, I read personal matter. So hopefully he's all good. But depending on how Ari goes, does Bono go out for him, or does Bono go out or Ari go out for Nas? They've played Bono all year. I think a lot of calls for him to be dropped. Playing a bit more defensive lately, letting Sinclair off the chain. I'm not going Ari. Look at I've had Reed and Horn, had the Caulfield and who's the other? There's another dead 1 and 2. So it's not important now, but I've really should have corrected one of them to like a Tom Brown or something, but never got to it. So lesson for next year. That's a higher priority than other stuff. So I'm not going Ari because I don't know if he'll hold as a buy as well. Can't afford a dead rookie. I need the DPP there, but not for me. But sounds like he can score. Probably against kick-ins too, but it just doesn't fit my structure. So I think if you're desperate for a defender rookie for whatever reason, I'm not against. He would be the one, obviously, since we didn't get Buslinger. Almost certainly Windy will go to Neil. Bulldogs and Freo. McNeil dropped. I guess Cody's back. So if you weren't McNeil, you'd be disappointed, but you did get 2 price rises out of him. He didn't make much. A bit like what's his name? His break even's -2. I only got the 1 price rise actually, so that's pretty annoying if you went him. But yeah, it is what it is. Bustling is not playing, which is annoying. Garcia dropped is pretty stiff, but especially if you're relying on him, but I guess you can cash him in now. It's been a great rook for you, a few 80s. That's about it here for the Dogs. Bont reported to be sick. There was the midweek tackle on Fox. It's like a journos, like a round table, TV show or podcast or whatever, and one of the journos on there spoke to the Dogs and they told her that Bont is playing. So that's that. So hopefully that's all good. Nothing else here. Richmond and Hawthorn, Dusty's 300th. Really massive event. Worth watching just to see Dusty rise for the occasion. So that should be fun. Meek's back if you have him. Probably can hold him for one more and then go to maybe like a Grundy next week, unless you want to hold him for the year. There's worse holds than Meek. He's sort of like in that next tier of, I don't know if it's second or third tier of Ruckman. Looks like he can do 105 to be honest, and like Ruck 2's been pretty disappointing. Like Grundy's come on good. You got TDK solo, has been unreal. So yeah, like it's not the I'd rather Meek than English, but yeah, it's another story. Nothing much to tell here. How much has Kaush made? Actually been alright rookie. Kind of ignored him. Him and Logan Morris been sneaky good rooks. Or decent anyway. I can't see anything else worth talking about. McAuliffe should get a run with Prestia out. I mean, who's sub here? It's probably McAuliffe or Sonsi or maybe Graham. So one of those three. Crows versus Swans. Nick Murray's really good in for the Crows, but not Supercoach relevant. He was really good last year. Rankin's in. Cook's back. Smith omitted. Burgess omitted. McHenry omitted. So these are, like, as a supporter, I'm happy with these changes. Smith's just getting a bit on, but he's been good for us for so long. Dowling is on field. I'll speak about rookies soon, but Dowling is safe as a rook. He cannot possibly be dropped. There was a bit of talk on Twitter that like Nix didn't rule it out, and then I think the tweet from an Ade journo was kind of bait, saying that he hinted that he could be sub or something, but Dowling will play. I don't have much faith in our coach at the moment, and nor do any Crow supporters, it seems, but I think Billy Dowling, like, it's just beyond comprehension if he doesn't play in the main 22. So I think he's safe, and I brought him in last week, and I think he's clearly number one rookie target this week. Swans, probably another one here is Kieran Strawn. Not good if you're waiting for Grundy next week. Grundy's break-even's not too bad because he had a bad one 2 games ago. Unfortunately, it was like a negative 40 DT to SC. Strawn didn't get many hitouts on Nank, and I dare say the same thing's going to happen on Grundy. So if you have Grundy, happy days. If you are waiting for him, you just got to hold tight and hopefully he gives away 10 frees or something. These are extended benches, but yeah, North and Collingwood. Bit of talk on Simpkin, named on ball. I think he's going to be the main on-baller, like a top 3 CBA for them. A top 3 CBA mid, I guess it could be Sheasel as well. She's named back. That's probably Cab. Yeah, they got 4 mids plus a bit of time for power, so like 5 mids. I think Simpkin played too well in there. I actually think he's a fine trade-in. I think he can do 85 plus in a 65% CBA role. Played well in there. North's fixture, Collingwood, injuries in the midfield, and I think it's Melbourne next week. Let's have a quick suss. Yeah, pretty nice 2 for mids. This is kind of hard. These next 4 are pretty disgusting. But post-buy, that's a bit of relief there. So I think it's fine in. I've considered it. It doesn't really fit what I'm trying to do, and I might look at it next week if Sexton gets dropped. I'll just pay the extra money for Simpkin, but get another look. What's his break even? I think it's like 30 or something. 31. So if he goes 100, he goes up like 35k or something. So not too bad. I have no money, but we'll see. Wait and see what happens with Sexton. Giants and Port. I don't think I missed anything. Collingwood. Oh yeah, Kruger. Probably too injury prone for my liking. Played okay. This is a good matchup too. I don't know if he holds. Like, surely Frampton goes out first, but yeah, I'm not sure. I think you'd have to ask Collingwood supporters. Excuse me. I would ask Collingwood supporter because I don't know, to be honest. Bytel, if you have him, maybe sub again. A little bit nervous on Sullivan sub too. Oh, there's heaps of players, like, this is massively fringe on the bench. You would think, like, Harrison plays, Frampton, I'm guessing, plays, does Markov play, and maybe Sullivan, and then Bytel sub, I guess, something. That's what I would guess. Giants versus Ports. So Buckley and Kelly's back in. I'm a Peatling owner in the other formats. I'm slightly nervous on him. And then Port, Burton's out, injured, don't know how long, but maybe that hurts Houston, but it is just a direct swap, Dylan Williams for Burton. So does that actually make a massive difference? I'm not too sure. Rosie's back. Rosie's probably, I think his break-even's 180 from memory. 182. So I think he's, not this week, but maybe 2 weeks, low 400s. What's he projected? So if he goes like 70, 88, 73, so like averages 80 next to, he'll be 400k. So he goes 100, 100. What's that? 420k. So I think he's 2 rounds away, but not the worst M9. And if Tom Green gets injured for whatever reason, I think Rosie's hopefully going to be our saviour. But that's, cross that bridge if it comes. Looking at the Giants, so Aaliyah named on field, so you think he plays. The question was, can Buckley, Aaliyah, and Taylor play in the same team? And the way Aaliyah won them the game the other week, you would think it's going to be pretty hard to drop him. So I don't know what they do here. 6 defenders. 7. Who have they dropped? Who are they going to drop? Don't know what they're going to do. Well, this looks fine. They're missing a defender. They're missing Ash. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they do play him and Haynes can play elsewhere or something. I think the sub here is probably... So Kelly plays, Buckley plays, you would think. I think Peatling should play. McMullen, sub maybe again. O'Halloran played alright. So it'd be hard to drop Peatling or O'Halloran. But we'll see. We shall see. Anyway, that's the teams. Ollie Wines apparently will have heart surgery post-season. Apparently. McAtee named on ball. Hopefully he doesn't tag somebody. He tags Stewart, and I don't think... Whitfield's not really a like for like with Stewart. But you never know. You would think that Whitfield's the one they want the ball in their hands the most. So, yeah. Anyway, trade plans this week. We'll look at targets. Spoke about rookies. The only one I have any interest in is Dowling. I don't know on Strawn's job security. If he keeps playing, he could make a lot of money. There are rumours about O'Brien moving to Melbourne, but that's just big footy rumours at the end of the season. I don't really know what the Crows are thinking with the rucks. I wouldn't surprise me if Strawn plays the rest of the year. I think list management failure is that we've only got 2 rucks and they're both 28, and probably neither of them are the future of the club. So it's a bit of a weird one where I don't really know what's going on. But if you go him this week and you get a nice score to cover Gawn, hopefully, and you've probably done his job. But if he gets dropped and he's stuck there, then it's a bit of a hard one because you can't really swing Jackson to cover your rucks in if you want to do that. So I don't even have Jackson, so I don't need his money, really. I mean, if it was 5 weeks ago, I'd probably do it if he was on the bubble, but it's a bit of a hard one. I don't know his job security, to be honest, but I think there's a reasonable chance he keeps playing. But I think Rob is a bit more competitive in the hitouts. So, yeah. I'm not going there, but yeah. Dowling would be number 1 by an absolute mile, in my opinion. So, look at targets. So, I'll look at my team. What do we need? Well, we need a defender, and that's it. And maybe we need a forward if Sexton's dropped. So, spoke about Sexton on the podcast. Now, is he going to be a keeper? Well, I don't know. I don't think anyone does, except for maybe... excuse me again. I don't think anyone knows bar Dimmer, whether he holds his spot or not. Maybe Sexton knows himself, but it's hard to trade like a halfback on kick-ins What happens when Powell comes in? I'm just making stuff up here, but could they put Powell on a wing? Could they put Flanders in the midfield? I don't know. Yeah, they're investing in the future of the Suns. Whoops. But they also need to play their best team. So if senior players or like older players need to play, then they'll play them if they think they're in the best 2022. Look, I am pretty nervous on this, and I probably need to have an exit plan to get rid of him. And if I do, I'd like to get him to Luke Jackson, just for the ruck cover and the potential of a few solo games if something happens to Darcy. If Darcy's healthy for the rest of the year and we don't need cover in the rucks, then we're going to have a shitty F6 averaging. Be lucky to average 80, I think, the way he scored with Darcy in the team, which would be pretty bad. But apart from Rankin, I don't think the forwards are all that. I guess Simpkin could be okay. Cordwell could be okay. I actually like Cordwell. It's probably 90s guy. When Parrish comes back, that'll probably hurt him a little bit. I think Curno's fine. I'd rather Jackson than Curno, though, just in case. Just the ruck DPP and the potential solo scores that Jackson has. And, coverage is... I think I value that a bit more. So... probably wouldn't go Mackay. Is he injured? Shoulder. Didn't even know that. Probably wouldn't go Myers. Just don't trust Myers. Neil Bullen's playing CBAs now. Like, this is a weird one. Bit of a utility, so I probably wouldn't go there. Not Lipinski. We should go like 3-round average. Rankin is the one to go to. I don't have the money to facilitate that. If you can get him, I think you definitely do. Like, I think these are the 7 you want. You want these 6 plus Jackson F7 if you need him. Unfortunately, Rankin's too expensive, and if you had him and he got injured, you got stitched up because he had the really nice fixture. In terms of midfielders that you want, I suppose, I think if you can't get to any of those 7, I'd probably go to a Simpkin, if not Cordwell or Curno. But anyway, that's my recommendation. So in terms of mids, I'm going to go 5-round midfielder only. Neil, I don't think you can pick because of tags incoming. Maybe he gets, Winhager this week. Maybe Neil Bullen. Maybe Drew. Crows he'll probably destroy. West Coast should be easy. Could be a James Jordan tag there. I would not go there for sure. Just because of tags. But there's going to be some big ones in there. Because he looks really good. Everyone has Bont, you would think. Treloar's a pod. I don't trust Treloar in his body. But I'd rather Treloar over a lot of these other guys like Tom Green. I can't believe I'm saying that in 2024. Warner's solid option. Still got a bit of trust issues with Warner, but the floor is not great, but still he's like better than a lot of the other trash that we have in the midfield. Butters might have a few tags coming. High break even too. Like maybe a Winhager and a Berry. Will Day's been pretty good. He's 570k now. Really impressive and a really nice run. Buy's no good, so I don't think you can go there. LDU's one that's come good, and he's got the 2 nice fixtures. I am stubborn. 4 injury incidents last year. I mean, the upside's pretty good. I'd rather LDU his injury risk again than Tom Green, but I don't have the trades to do that. But he's not one I'll pick. Dawson's got the buy, but I think Dawson will be good. Have trust issues with Dunkley. Just has really bad patches, whether it's injury or form or whatever, every now and again in the year. So yeah, sometimes he just looks so good, and then he'll just have a 5 round of rubbish. Like I think last year had calf issues, and last 8 games was horrific, basically. Crisp, it's mid defender, sorry. And then you got Errol. Errol is probably top 3 mid, if not M1 in fantasy. And he's playing a Crows who are really struggling at the moment. I think Errol's a fine in, and yeah, one of the reasons why I went Errol over like a Neil Dunkley LDU last week was durability and age upside, and he was giving away a lot of frees that wasn't sustainable. So if I had to guess his average for the rest of the year, I would guess 110, and I'd be happy with that. A bit more upside in a few other guys like LDU. But yeah, I think this score from Gordon, small ground SCG, so can push up to stoppage pretty easily. And Geelong's midfield is very weak, so I think Errol was fine. Horn Francis, it's actually a keeper, like a M8. He's been good. Merritt's 5 round's not good. Next week, I think Merritt would be my number 1 target. I do feel like he's going to, this is good. West Coast Geelong. Pies after the bye is excellent. Maybe Neil Bull and tag here, though, but whatever. I think, Merritt's a good in. He wasn't that good against the Eagles last time. I think he kicked a few goals. Still has a bye. Cripps has a bye now. Wouldn't go there. Would you go Sam Walsh next week? The fixture for Carlton's excellent. Yeah, that's nice. 2 games there. His TOG was 68% at 3/4 time. That does suggest something's off if that's his TOG. So I don't like that. Andy could you could do worse than Andy. I just think I think we can all see Fife's gone in there, Young's gone in there. His CBAs have they're not really max every week. So rumors that he was carrying something early in the year as well. He's one that could come out with a bang. Jeez, he's really poor. Not one score over 125 this year. Last year he was such a great own. That's interesting. It's probably not enough to suggest that he's gonna be that 110 again. He could, but I don't know. And then Petrarca's injured. Parrish is injured. Would you jump off Took? I probably would, if you could. Similar with Oliver. Took did get tagged, but it should have been 240s in a row, which is completely unacceptable for a mid. I'm not 40. This 108. I think he should have been a 60, not a 108 really, but some late points. I mean, I don't know. He got tagged by Windhager. I don't think that's going to happen again. Got Collingwood coming up north as well. I think you can move him on if you can. Otherwise, I think this is actually pretty good, this scoring up until last week. I guess Essendon as well. Just maybe had 2 bad games. I don't know. But he doesn't look that great this year. Kicking's been awful. Clary, I probably would jump off. This is just... I know he's going to get a rest and stuff, but... Yeah, the DT score is quite poor at the moment, and he's getting a bit of contested ball, which is helping. Does have North after the bye. But yeah, the lack of preseason, could this get worse? Could it get better? Who knows? He's one that I'd be quite happy to move off. And look at defender upgrades before I get to my own trades. So Ryan, you need to have. Dacos, you need to have. And then it's Shizel, I guess, too, scoring pretty well in mid-forward role. Mostly mid. Sometimes full mid, sometimes mid-forward. And then you really want your next 3. That's where you're going to make up your points. And having a Jordan Clark who, they're just racking it up. He intercepts. Tags coming, but I do feel like they've almost, the past few weeks, worth noting that defender matchups for these last 3 are pretty much a dream. excluding Richmond. And the Richmond game was Ryan that went 200, so Ryan took all the points. But I like Jordan Clark. I think he can do like 107 for the rest of the year, even with low kick-ins, just because they stuff around with it so much. But he's just like, Ryan is mostly junk, whereas I think Jordan Clark is junk and run and carry and intercept. So I think he's a great pod. I should have traded him in when he was 520, but I went Ryan. Now Ryan lost like 5k and Jordan Clark went up like 55k or something. So that was complete stuff up from me. And now I don't have the money to get to him. I don't think I could, but actually no, I can't. I'd have to cop a donut if I went him this week. Or trade Sexton, which I'm probably not going to do. Holmes, I'd probably just check for tags and stuff. Looks pretty fine. Holmes looks pretty good. I never had any interest. Him and McGovern have pretty bad soft tissue history, so never really had interest in them. Sinclair had calf issues in preseason. You probably forgive because it's like a one-off. And he's got this Marvel run. So I think he's a great pod post-buy. 76 break even. What's the fixture like? Is there any Richmond coming? Yeah, later on. Melbourne, Collingwood, the other ones that give up. None of that, but yeah, Sinclair's a pretty good pod. He'd be really lowly owned. We really should be looking at ownership. Top 1%. Okay, so Ryan's not even like... People don't have Ryan. I'm guessing it's gone up a little bit. Martin's 62%. So I think it's like if you don't have Martin, you definitely don't grab him. You bet against. But because he's 62%, if he just goes 90, 95 for the year, it's not going to sting that bad. Like what, 10, 15 points a week on whoever someone else has in that slot. Few people trading Sexton. Looks like most have held Sexton, which is pretty nice. Houston 50%, Dale 30%. There's a lot of, it's very poddish, like a lot of like 15, 20% players here. Hayden Young 28%. We forgot to talk about him on the pod. I'd probably take Houston and Clark over him, but I think Young can do 105. He's doing 100 at the moment, and he had one game he got subbed, and he had, I don't know, that first two games where he looked completely disinterested and just hacked the thing non-stop, but his next three for mids absolutely sucks. Bulldogs, terrible, I think. Gold Coast, terrible. Where is Gold Coast? Optus, okay. Sydney, terrible. And he scored terrible against Sydney last time. Oh, this is horrific matchup. But then it's good again. Richmond, I don't know if Hawthorn are good or not for matchup. Probably neutral without looking. Melbourne should be easy. West Coast shouldn't be too hard. Geelong, yeah, it's alright. It's like hard, easy, and then maybe hard last two. I think he's definitely an option. Durability is a slight concern. Like maybe I'm talking myself into it, but he played 22 last year. I think he had like a minor contact issue. And this year he hasn't missed, but did have the tightness in the hammy. But that's, yeah. I would pay up if you can. But yeah, a few people have brought him in. Yeah, Clark's ownership's gone up, so he's been a popular target. Looks like he's the most traded in defender. People trading in Whitfield. My brothers do not. I think he did 107 post-buy, so I think the hope is he replicates that. Now, James Jordan's going to tag him, and hopefully Port. We just need him to get a decent score on Port, so then we don't cop two bad ones. But I think we just... Yeah, you want 19 on your field for round 15, but I think he's like fine for D7. There's just a few, like an Ed Richards, a Ridley, a Sinclair. These guys have pretty massive ceiling. Like, there's a world where they can do 115 plus. It is unlikely, but they've shown they're capable of that. And when you have a Nick Martin and a Whitfield there, that's going to be painful. So this is sort of where you can make up a bit of ground, assuming everyone has Ryan, Sheasel, and Dacos. So all 84+% owned. Crispers look pretty good. Cecilia, probably you don't go there with the shoulder issue he had and the bye, but man, this could go big this week, but just doesn't look like doing that 115. Looks like a 100 guy. Few people bringing in the loop. Now, Yo's a pod for next week. I just don't think the body is like trustworthy enough. Like, hasn't really done much apart from North in the past month. And not for me. Maybe off the rest, he's feeling pretty good. So, what trades do we have here? Well, we've got money on Freya and Sullivan. We got no money on Hoare. We got no money on Garcia. We got not much on Rogers and Garcia. Richards we're going to keep, and hopefully him and Dowling can make money post-buy for us so that we can get a 23rd. That would be in like round, I don't know, like 18 or 19. But yeah, the whole idea of the 23rd is, Bont's sick for a week. Instead of covering him with a rookie, cover him with a premium. So that's the idea of why I like that. So you can see like Dacos and Bont almost missing a week basically. But I think Dowling can be our budget 23rd. So I think half the reason why I'm not going Simpkin is I have faith Dowling can put up decent enough scores as a rookie. So yeah. So we're fielding at the moment 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Assuming Sullivan is not sub. Let's optimize. And we need a defender. There's not much we can do here, to be honest. Like, how can we get to Jordan Clark? We'd have to get rid of Sullivan and Freya and Rogers to a 102k rook. And that means we're getting rid of players we're going backwards to 17 players because we're getting 102s. But this is what I'm thinking. We still need to fix Marty Hoare. Now, I don't think we can actually trade him this week. But we're going to get 2 loops that we're actually going to need anyway. Means we're still fielding 18. Now, what can we get for 470? Absolutely nothing. Should have gone Jordan Clark when he was 520. So annoying. Can't get nothing. So basically it costs us a trade. Oh, players I can't afford. Lloyd, Massimo, it's just a depressing list. Like, Salem's been okay, but pretty injury prone. Kirch is back next week, apparently. Yeah. Just depressing list. Legnekova's been okay, but did get the spike score on Richmond. There's nothing here, so instead of getting rid of Hoare, we can get rid of Garcia, and we have enough. See what defenders we can get. Yeah, players I can afford. Well, Richards has the buy, so we can't really go there. Young is there. Amon is there, but do we want Amon? No. If there was no buy, I'd probably punt Richards, even with it. Should probably not. Because he did a hammy last year, but he looked really, really, really good in the midfield, though. I think the upsides could be worth it. But what happens with Libert in there now? He's definitely one you can grab, like, post-buy. But I think all we can really get is Hayden Young. And that means we're just fielding Young over Sullivan. Now, we could trade Sexton, and that would get us Jordan Clark. So this is what I'm doing at the moment. Whether it's the right thing, I'm not sure, but 7 trades, and that's if Sexton's keeper. Look, I don't think he will be. That's 22 premiums. You got 2 premiums there, and then 20 on the field. So that's what I'm thinking at the moment. I don't mind Hayden Young, but it makes me nervous. But yeah, it's just very annoying. I wish I went Jordan Clark a few weeks ago, or if I had Garcia or Rogers, would have had so much more money and the team would be set. But now we're just really stretching, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dead rooks, and that's it for Richards. Assuming Richards comes back, but it means we can hold Freya for next week if we need his money, or even post-buy if he can make a bit more. And the goal is hopefully... Oh yeah, we're trading English for sure. And we'll probably need to trade Hoare as well. So that's 5 trades left, and haven't dealt with Sexton. If Sexton goes down, we'll try and get him to Luke Jackson, I think the cover will be important, but we're definitely trading English like 100% next week, because I'm not sitting through the rest of the season owning him. I know he's averaging 110. I know he scored 130 the other week, but can't watch him. Can't do it. His fixture's not bad, actually. These two, I think, Shrek and Cherry, I think they're terrible matchups. Port's easy. De Koning should be okay. De Koning doesn't win a whole lot of hitouts. Geelong, easy. Grundy, he'll get killed. Gorn, he'll get killed. Rob, if he's there, will get killed. Just because of physicality. Cherry again will get killed. Nah, stuff him. He's gone next week. His break even's 108. Just hit it, please. Please. 5 round of 99. I think that he's had lucky scores too. He's had lucky goals and lucky frees and stuff, and 50 meters for, and I'm sick of him. I'll put Zorko in the forward line. Anyway, I think that's what we're going to do. 7 trades left. I think if Sexton holds, then we should be okay. Like, we should be able to get 23rd, no problem. We might be going down to 4 trades, and yeah, if Sexton goes, English goes, Hoare goes, just to open up the DPP. We should be 4 trades left, injury trades with no 23rd, which is pretty bad, which means hopefully we can somehow turn Richards, and I think if we carry Fraser over, if we can turn those 2 into a 23rd, that would be perfect. So yeah, hopefully no long-term injuries, especially the next 2 weeks. We just need to get through where every warm body counts. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.